and you changed a bunch of the settings. Things got a little crazy, a little messed up, but I think we are back in business. My sound technician is standing by. He's going to let me know how things are working out. Good? Still behind? Still waiting for you?
It's not showing up that slide.
Not showing up? Well, give it a couple seconds because I have 0 viewers right now. That's never a good thing when you got 0 viewers. We're just going to go to the...
Yeah, it's not showing that you're live.
There we go. Now we got it. This time we're working. Good evening. Welcome to OneEighty. We are glad you guys could join us tonight. We are the youth ministry of Grace Community Church. Hope everybody's doing well. There's starting to be some chatter, some talk about the possibility of getting back together in person sometime soon. So stay tuned. We're going to have some meetings this week to see when we are ready to do that as a church. But I hope you guys are excited about getting back together. I know we've had some drive-by birthday parties and graduations lately, and so we've got a chance to see a few people while practicing safe social distancing. And so hope you guys are doing well, but I'm sure you guys are ready to get back together. Natalie, thanks for joining us. Josiah, Tim, Ben, Riley, Kaylee, Derek. It's good to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy birthday, Jessica. Yes, I will not sing, but you guys can all sing happy birthday to Jessica from your own home. I'm sure she will hear you. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched the National Spelling Bee, but it's pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever seen, those kids must be 8 to 12-ish years old, and man, those kids can spell some crazy words, but just like everything else, the National Spelling Bee was canceled this year. So I wanted to see if you guys can pick up the mantle where those other kids left off, and I want to see if you can spell some words that may be hard to spell. So Give me a second. We will get where we need to go here. I see Will. Will's checking in. Good to see you, Will. Hope everybody is enjoying a good Sunday afternoon. I don't know about you guys. I was not really expecting the rain today. That was kind of interesting. So, all right. Well, let's see what we can do with spelling. Because I'm hoping that some of you guys are good at spelling. All right. So, this is the 180 Spelling Bee. The first word, it's actually a name. Popular singer right now, Louis Capaldi. So the first person to correctly spell Louis Capaldi in the comment section is what we're looking for. Any of you guys are you familiar with his songs? What's his popular song right now? I'm sure you would know it if you heard it. You guys try and figure out how to spell his name in the comment section, and I will pull up a Louis Capaldi song. Anybody? Anybody even know who Louis Capaldi is? Anybody? Anybody out there? He sings, yes, Riley is correct. Natalie and Jessica are also correct, but Riley was the first in. It is Lewiscapaldi, Louis Capaldi. All right, next, Albuquerque, as in Albuquerque, New Mexico. How do you spell Albuquerque? Anybody? Yes, someone you love. That's the one, Jessica. That's the one that everybody knows nowadays. Albuquerque. If you know how to spell Albuquerque, hit me in the comment section. Anybody ever actually been to New Mexico? I know I have not been anywhere. The Southwest is one part of the country that I have never traveled to. But if you've been to Albuquerque, or if you just want to take a guess, hit the comment section with how to spell Albuquerque. Matt Miller is checking in. Let's see. Yes, Matt Miller is correct. Jessica was in just a little too late. Will? No, Will. There's no K's in Albuquerque. Oh, I forgot. Also, don't use your phone to come up with the answer. It is Albuquerque. Yes, I forgot. Matt should know Albuquerque. His wife's parents are from down there, so he's should have flown in there a few times. All right. Whoops, I almost gave the next one away. Worcestershire. It's that little sauce, that little liquid that you put on stuff when you're cooking something yummy, usually meatloaf maybe, a good steak. Worcestershire. You can't even say it. How am I expect you guys to spell it? But the word is Worcestershire. I believe it's also a place in England, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just a sauce. I'm not really sure. But Worcestershire. Anybody know how to spell that? I'll give you a hint. It starts with W. There you go. Would anybody like to buy a vowel? Let's see. Who's going to be first with Worcestershire? Nope. Worcester is wrong. Shire. Matt, you're getting pieces of it, but you need to put it all together. Potterhead, you are close. You're close, Will. You're close. There's actually a tricky... This is a tricky one. It's not phonetically correct. Anybody else? Nobody's gotten it yet? Will and Joey are kind of close. There's actually not an H at the beginning. There's just an H in the Shire. So Worcestershire. All right, next word is hippopotamus. Comment in the comment section, spelling of hippopotamus. Let's see. Did you know that hippopotamuses, hippopotami. I don't know what the plural of hippopotamus is, but hippopotamuses kill more people in Africa than any other animal. They kill more people than lions. They kill more people than alligators. Hippopotamuses are dangerous. So if you know how to spell hippopotamus in the comment section, let me see what you got. Hippopotamus. Oh, you are very close, Potterhead. Very close. Yes, Josh got it correct, and he even included it in one of the classic Christmas songs. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. That is the correct spelling you see on your screen. Yes, a bunch of you guys got it correct, but Josh was first. All right, next. Entrepreneur. Not like manure, entrepreneur. Anybody ever watch the Shark Tank? Those guys are entrepreneurs. I don't know, that show's kind of lost some steam, but I always loved it. Entrepreneur. Spell it out. What are you guys thinking? Entrepreneur. Favorite entrepreneur on the Shark Tank? Mine is probably Mr. Wonderful, even though he's a big jerk. I just think he's a funny guy. I think it's an act. Let's see. Entrepreneur. Derek. Derek, did you use your phone? If not, good job. Derek was the first one in on that one. Let's see. What is next? Another name. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish. First one to correctly spell Billie Eilish. Not your traditional spelling of Billy. I don't know what a traditional spelling of Eilish would be, but Billie Eilish, correct spelling of Billie Eilish is what we are looking for. You guys crack me up in the comment section. Tim, entrepreneur does not start with an A, my friend. Billy, nope. Joey, you have the last name correct. The first name is not right. There you go. Sarah's got it. Billy with an I-E at the end. That is correct. Billie Eilish. Next is, for all you car lovers, Lamborghini. Lamborghini is next. I saw a video the other day on the news. This 8-year-old kid wanted to go to California and buy a Lamborghini. So he stole his mom's car and he started driving cross country to buy a Lamborghini, but he only had $8 and he got pulled over by the police. Lamborghini. Derek is correct. Derek's got 2 in a row. He's on a streak. 8. Next. Now, different people pronounce this next one different ways. I'm just going to say what it is. It's the wiener dog, but I'm not looking for wiener dog. I'm looking for dachshund or dachshund. How do you spell dachshund or dachshund? True story. I had a wiener dog growing up, and Will Sunday currently has a wiener dog named Bella. So shout out to Bella and all the wiener dogs out there. That's how you know God has a sense of humor, guys. Seriously. When God invents a dog that looks like that, that's pretty funny. All right. Jessica is accusing Derek of cheating. He's not in the same room as me, Jessica, so he very well could be. I'm not sure. Yes, Will Sunday has a hot dog, and he is the correct first speller of the hot dog as well. All right, I got 2 more. Next up, for all you Irish people, or for all you people who love Shamrock Shakes, Leprechaun, or Frosted Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Leprechaun. Who can spell leprechaun first? Dasani. Nice. No, I like Dasani, but that's not it. Yeah, Jessica, you got it. Or Natalie, you got it right. You're a little late. A couple other you guys got it right. A little late. All right. We have moved on to Leprechaun. Anybody know how to spell leprechaun. Leprechaun. Jessica, you are correct. Oh, hold on a second. Is it an E or an A? Yes, Jessica, you are correct. Sarah, you were in just a little late. Joey, a little late. Matthew, just a little late. Jessica got it. All right, last one. The last one is connoisseur. If you are a connoisseur of some kind of soda, maybe, or a connoisseur of, I'm trying to think if any of you are connoisseurs of anything. Matt Miller is a connoisseur of birch beer. Matt Miller only drinks the finest birch beers, and he's got a palate that is specific to certain kinds of birch beers. Matt Miller's such a connoisseur of birch beer that he can tell you what state the birch tree was grown in that his birch beer is made from. That's how amazing he is. Potterhead, you are incorrect. Matt, incorrect. Joey, incorrect. Connoisseur, no, Jessica, not connoisseur. Hold on a second. Riley has spelled it correctly, but she doesn't know what it is. How's that possible? I'm not so sure. Yep, Riley, you are correct. It is a person who is well versed in a certain thing or field. So, hope you guys enjoyed that spelling. I know that you guys are away from school, and so I didn't want to hit you too hard with the spelling, but I figured we could do it in a fun way. A few weeks, you know that we have been talking about detours and roadblocks, and you know that we are in a time of detour. We're in a time of roadblock right now, and it can be difficult. And that's what we've been talking about. And we've talked about some different things that could be a roadblock or a detour, like a flat tire. That's a thing. If you're driving down the road and your tire goes flat, that's a thing. We've talked about some circumstances. We've talked about times when I was watching a Super Bowl a few years ago and the lights went out in the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl was delayed. That's a circumstance. But there are times when the interruption or detour in your life can be a person. And in 2016, there were two teens in England, and they were walking home, I believe, from a movie or something like that, and they came across a man standing on a bridge. And he was about to jump off the bridge. He was about to commit suicide. And everybody else was just walking by, totally ignoring the guy. He was about to jump off the bridge, and they could have kept walking as well. But these two teens stopped, and they actually convinced him to come down off the bridge. They saved his life. And so sometimes interruptions are things, sometimes they're circumstances, but sometimes they're people. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. What do you do when your interruption or your detour is a person? Do you feel bad and look away and keep going and just ignore them? I saw a video. There's this show called What Would You Do? And in this one video, this kid was walking through a mall, and the guy who was working maintenance man at the mall, he was up on a ladder. He fell off the ladder, and the kid, it's all staged. So the kid stops, and instead of helping the guy up off the ground or making sure he's okay, the kid stops and takes a selfie, and he's like, "Hey, this is going to be awesome. You're going to go viral, dude. I hope you're okay because you're about to go viral." And so in our culture, sometimes instead of helping people when they interrupt us, we pull out our phone and we record them. Or do you actually stop and help them? And tonight I want to talk about a story that you guys have probably heard lots of times in Sunday school as kids. It's the parable that Jesus tells about the Good Samaritan. And you guys are probably familiar with this, but that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hopefully we can look at it in kind of a new light. So like I said, when an interruption is a circumstance or thing versus a person, tonight we want to talk about when those interruptions in your life are people. So Luke 10:30 says, "A Jewish man was traveling from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, they beat him up, and they left him half dead beside the road. Now, here's the thing. This road, as Jesus was telling this story, these people probably knew exactly what road Jesus was talking about. It was well known. It was notorious for being dangerous. It was kind of this rocky valley that people would walk through. And as they walked down that valley, it was the perfect spot for thieves to ambush them and take their stuff. And I had a place like that in my life when I was in college. Amy and I went to college in Chicago, and a couple blocks away from where we went to college was this place called Cabrini Green. And everybody knew that it was dangerous. In fact, at the time, it was pretty much the largest government-funded housing project in the United States. There were gangs. People were shot and killed there all the time. There was drugs. And basically, part of our college orientation was the college telling us, hey, stay away from that neighborhood. If you go there, bad stuff will happen. And in fact, the only people that would go over there that were white were either cops or students from my college. And in our college, some of the people in our college participated in the Big Bro, Big Sis program. And so they would have little brothers or little sisters over there, and they would walk over there. And one time my wife, Amy, walked over there with one of her roommates or friends to pick up their little sister. And the Chicago policeman pulled up to them, and he was like, what are you two white girls doing over here? He's like, you better get out of here right now or else you're going to get shot. And so there's just certain places that people know not to go. There's certain, like you in the movies, like whenever somebody starts to walk down a dark alley at night in a movie, you know something bad is about to happen. And that's the deal with these guys. Everybody that Jesus is telling this parable to would know, hey, this is a bad road. You don't want to go down this road. I had a friend in college. He was a little older than most of the college students. He came back to college, and he would spend a lot of time in Cabrini Green. And he didn't care. He didn't care how dangerous it was. He loved the kids there. And he would do after-school programs for them. One night he was walking home in the dark, and he got jumped and beat just like the guy in this story. The Chicago police just happened to come by and stop the guys from beating him. But I remember seeing him a couple days later. His face was all black and blue. He was all beat up. So in this story, this Jewish man is traveling on this dangerous road. He gets attacked by bandits. He gets beaten, and he gets left by the side of the road. This is what happens next. By chance, a priest came along. But when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. A temple assistant walked over and looked at him lying there, but he also passed by on the other side. So two different guys passed by. They're both Jews, just like the guy who got attacked, and they're both religious. They both work in the temple. And this passage makes it clear that these guys see him, they know he's in trouble, but yet they just keep on walking. So what I want to ask you guys is, why? Why don't they help him? The guy may have been groaning. The guy may have just been lying there on the side of the road groaning. He may have actually been crying out for help. He may have been begging them, hey, help me. Somebody please help. Maybe they were afraid it was a trap. Maybe they felt like somebody had put him out there as bait, and if they stopped to help, they were going to get jumped too. Maybe they had an important meeting they needed to get to at the temple. Maybe they didn't want to make themselves unclean. So here's the thing. When people worked in the temple, there were certain things that, according to the law, that could make them unclean. One of those things was blood. So if this guy was bloody and they stopped to help him and they touched blood, when they went back to the temple, before they could do their temple work, they would have to do like a ceremonial washing to make themselves clean again. So for these guys, it may have been a real inconvenience, a real interruption if they would have helped this guy, because they would have had to go through the process of making themselves clean again. How about you? Why don't you help people in need? Maybe sometimes it's as simple as we just don't know what to do. We don't know how to help them. Maybe sometimes it's as simple as we're just too busy to help. Maybe we're too cool to help. If I help them, I'm going to look bad. Maybe we're just too used to it. I'll be honest. When we lived in Chicago, there was homeless people all over the city. And it was easy to get to the point where you could just walk past a homeless person and not really even care. So maybe we're just too used to it. Or maybe we're judging them. Maybe we would be saying, well, if they had just done this, then they wouldn't have been in that situation. So it's their own fault they're in that situation. But the bottom line is they're an interruption. And you might say to yourself, I don't have the time or the energy to deal with their drama right now. So where are you guys at? When you see somebody who's in need, do you view them as an interruption or do you view them as a person? Let me ask you guys a question. What enables us to look right past somebody? What enables us to look the other way? What enables us to just ignore another human being in need? And I want to tell you guys, it shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be the way it is for us to be used to just looking past people who are in need. They're humans just like us. I remember we were in the Dominican Republic a couple years ago. I haven't seen Adam Bowder commenting on here tonight, so I don't know if he's watching. But I remember very distinctly, we were in a bus in the Dominican Republic. We were stuck in traffic, and there were people by the side of the road begging or selling stuff. I can't remember which. But you could tell that these guys were in rough shape. They weren't in a good place. And they were like right up against the window, like looking in the bus, like basically begging for money. And somebody on the bus said, just look away. Don't look at him. Don't make eye contact. And Adam was like, no. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, they're a person just like you. Why would you do that? And I remember Adam standing up and Adam basically saying, like, hey, we shouldn't just look past these people in need. And I think one of the reasons, guys, honestly, we look past these people or we view them as interruptions is because it's sad. When we see people in need, it's sad. It can really tug at us. But I think too often we see them as nuisances or interruptions or annoyances. And I'm just challenging you tonight. I don't think God wants us to view people as nuisances or interruptions or annoyances. Here's the thing. The Good Samaritan, he felt compassion. The Good Samaritan felt compassion. Listen to this verse. Then a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. This Good Samaritan guy, he was moved. He was touched. He felt bad. He wanted to do something. And in that moment, the man in need, laying on the side of the road, became his most pressing, urgent, important concern. He wasn't thinking about where he needed to go or what he needed to do. He couldn't just look away and keep on walking. And I think it's interesting. When you look back, if you read the Gospels, there's kind of a phrase that comes up lots of times in connection with Jesus healing people or Jesus feeding people or Jesus doing some kind of miracle. And this is basically it. This is one example. There's lots of them, but it says Jesus saw the huge crowd as he stepped from the boat, and he had compassion on them, and he healed their sick. Guys, we should be filled with compassion. This is Jesus' example to us. When we see people in need, we should be filled with compassion. Like I said, I know it's awkward sometimes. I know it's uncomfortable. We want to look away. We want to distance ourselves. But the Bible tells us things like this. The Bible tells us, love your neighbor as yourself. I don't know about you guys, but if I was laying on the side of the road, beaten and bloodied, I would want somebody to help me. The Bible also tells us in Philippians, don't look out for your own interest only, but take an interest in others too. And so the question I have for you is, do you feel compassion? Guys, it's okay to acknowledge or recognize the hardship or pain that someone else is going through. It's okay to be moved by it. It's okay to be emotional about it. Second thing I want to point out about the Good Samaritan is the Good Samaritan did not let racism or prejudice or stereotypes stop him from helping. Here's the thing. The Jews and the Samaritans hated each other. It would be like, I was trying to think of some groups of people that hate each other. Eagles fans and Cowboys fans hate each other's guts. Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers fans hate each other's guts. Some Republicans and Democrats hate each other's guts. Fox News and CNN hate each other's guts. Cat people and dog people hate each other's guts. Well, maybe not. I'm not so sure about that, but they definitely may not see eye to eye on the cat and dog dilemma. But here's why. The Jews at one point were conquered by the Assyrians. And what the Assyrians did was they brought another people group into the Jewish land, and they had the Jews intermarry with another ethnic group. And so basically the Samaritans were a mixed ethnic group. They were part Jew and they were part something else. And also the Samaritans also didn't follow the same law, like the Old Testament law, like the Jews did. So the Jews hated the Samaritans because they were half-breeds and because they didn't follow the same laws that the Jews followed. And so when Jesus is telling this story and he says that the hero is a Samaritan, I'm sure that Jesus' audience was shocked, appalled. There might have been audible gasps and groans, like when Jesus said that the Samaritan was the hero. What about you? Do you ever withhold help from somebody because of some prejudice or some stereotype or some racism? I would help them, but they're homeless. I would help them, but they're Hispanic. I would help them, but they're a drug dealer. I would help them, but they're gay. I would help them, but they're not cool. I would help them, but they have special needs. Hey guys, God doesn't only want us to help the people we love and the people who are like us. There's this verse, it says, "But I say, love your enemies." And so Jesus is actually saying, hey, I don't want you guys just to love the people who you like. I don't want you guys just to love the people who are like you. I actually want you to love your enemies. And so this Samaritan was loving his enemy. When this Samaritan stopped and took care of the Jew, he was loving his enemy. Are there certain groups or types of people that you won't help? And if there are, I'd encourage you guys to ask God to change your heart. The third thing is the Good Samaritan did something. He took action. This is what it says. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. I know that seems kind of weird. Olive oil and wine on somebody's wounds. Back in the day, that was probably pretty common. And then it says he put the man on his own donkey. He took him to an inn where he took care of him. The next day, he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, "Take care of this man. If his bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here." So basically, this guy takes care of him on the side of the road. That's called triage. When you take care of somebody's immediate, most pressing medical needs until you can get them somewhere to a good hospital or somewhere for real help, that's called triage. So he triages this dude on the side of the road. He takes him to an inn. He actually stays the night with the guy and takes care of him overnight. The next day he leaves and says, "Hey, I got to go do what I need to do, but here's some money. Take care of this guy. And if the bill runs higher than what I've given you here for money," he says, "I'll come back and I'll pay for it." So when you see somebody in need, do you feel like you have to do something? Or do you just wish them well? Send them a get well card or say, "I'm praying for you. I'm sure you'll be fine. You no problem. You'll be up and about in a few days." Or do you actually do something? There's this verse in James. It says, "Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say, 'Goodbye, have a good day, stay warm, and eat well.' But then you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do?" Hey guys, here's the bottom line. Sometimes people don't need your sympathy or your kindness or your prayer. They need you to do something right then and right there. I doubt the Samaritan was a doctor. He was doing what he could. He was doing the best he could. Because you can help somebody sometimes without being a professional or without being perfect or without it being a permanent fix. So he bandaged him up, he did his part, and then he covered the costs of what was left. He went the extra mile with his own money, his own time, his own resources. So let me ask you guys this. In the middle of COVID, there may be people who need things. There may be people who need help. And will you see those people as interruptions? Will you see, when you go back to school and you see somebody in need in the hallway and you're rushing to class, will you see that as an interruption? When you're about to watch your favorite show on Netflix and your friend starts texting you because they're upset about something, will you see them as a nuisance? Or will you look the other way and keep going? Or will you feel compassion? Or will you make excuses? Or will you believe God put you in their life at just the right time? Or will you say, well, somebody else will help them? Or will you stop what you're doing and do something? I'm challenging you guys tonight that when you see somebody in need, to stop and do something. I'm not going to tell you the specifics because I don't want to toot my own horn, but the day after I did this lesson, I was out somewhere and I saw somebody who was in need. And I stopped and I was able to give them some help. And it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't anything crazy, but God was able to use me to help somebody who was in need. So I'm just challenging you guys. Don't see people as interruptions. God is placing people in your life so that you can help them. All right, let's pray. If you guys have any prayer requests, we always forget. I always forget to ask you guys, but if you have any prayer requests, feel free to message me, email me, put it in the chat section, and I will pray for you. But let me pray real quick tonight. Dear Heavenly Father, thanks for today. Thanks for the opportunity you've given us. Thanks for all the good things you've given us. And sometimes, God, you want us to use our good things in a moment, in an immediate time to help and to do something when somebody needs help. And I pray that when you place us in those situations, you would give us compassion, that you would help us to see the person, that you would help us to have compassion on them, and you would help us to do what we can to help them. Thanks for this example. There are times, God, when we will be interrupted by people, and I pray that we would see them as people created in your image, not as nuisances or annoyances, God. Thanks for tonight. In your name, amen. All right, so we are now going to move on to our Welcome to My Lair. And give me 1 second and we will let it run. Alrighty. Without further ado, anybody know how to spell ado? Here we go.
Hi, my name is Riley, and welcome to my lair.
Hey, Riley, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am well. Hey, for some of you who have been around OneEighty for a while, Riley is a new face. She's joined us the last couple of weeks for our live streams and for the Zoom Bible study we've been doing. So she wanted to show us her room, and this will be a great way to get to know her. So thanks for showing us your room, Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Since we don't know you very well, are there some things in your room that you could show us that explain who you are, what you like, what your personality is?
Yeah, I like to paint a lot, so I have a couple paintings right now in here.
Cool. What do you got?
I have mostly abstract right now.
Okay. Let's see them. Oh, that's cool. Nice.
And then this one. So this one has a story behind it. I started doing this, but then I'm like, I don't want to have two of those. So I just smeared it.
Okay.
It looks cool.
Yeah, I've seen some really cool videos on Facebook lately of people who have buckets on ropes and they swing the buckets and it like makes like different patterns. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've wanted to do that for a while, but I don't have proper setup.
So what else you got in your room? Show us around.
I have some pictures of my cousins and my little sister. Here's my little sister.
Cool. What's her name?
Her name's Ryan.
And how old is she?
She just turned a year in February.
Wow. You ever change diapers?
No.
No, why not? You got to help your mom out.
No. So there's me. Here's my cousin Eva and my cousin Cadence.
Cool.
Here's Cadence when she was a baby.
Nice.
And here's my other cousin. This is Julia.
Cool. Looks like you've got a lot of girl cousins.
Yes, I have one boy cousin currently. Soon to be two, because Julia's going to have a brother soon.
Cool. Well, it sounds like family is important to you. That's pretty neat. I like that. What about favorite pair of shoes?
Definitely these.
You like the old checkerboard pattern, huh?
Yeah, they're Vans.
Okay, cool. And you got any stuffed animals or anything?
Yes, where is he? There he is. His name is OJ, and he is a brown dog.
So why OJ?
Because I have a Chesapeake Bay Retriever named Otis, and this is Otis Jr.
Oh, gotcha. Nice. Do you have a desk in there, or where do you do your homework at?
I love him. You're frozen.
Yep. You just give it a second. We'll come back. There you go. So you got OJ. What about homework? Where do you do your homework at?
I do my homework downstairs in the kitchen.
Okay. So you don't need any. What's one of the things you'd like to do in your bedroom besides sleep?
Well, I build Legos sometimes.
Cool. You got
I have
anything?
a Lego camper.
Okay.
It opens up. Here, let me open it. There's right now a person and a dog inside.
Cool. So do you like to go camping in real life?
Yes, I do.
And what do you like to do when you go camping? Do you hang out, or do you like to do
I like to hang out. I like to go on walks.
fishing?
Yeah, sometimes, depending on where we camp.
Cool. Hey, I saw you have your name on your wall. Is that like in like Harry Potter script or something like that? It looks like.
Oh yeah, that's it. My room was Harry Potter themed, but now since we're moving, it's going to be like aqua blue themed.
Okay.
So that's why it's like
I like it.
Harry Potter on the walls, but then the bed's like blue.
I like the Harry Potter theme. Hey, what's written on the wall above your closet?
Oh, it says "Always kiss me goodnight." That's from a really long time ago.
Cool. So what's your view from your room? What you got, a front yard view, backyard, side yard?
Side. I have a side and a front.
I see the storage container. You guys are moving, huh?
Yeah.
So are you excited about moving or not real excited about moving?
I'm pretty excited. Here's my phone. There we go. Here's my front yard view.
Cool. Are you guys moving far away or pretty close by?
I'm moving to suburban school district.
Oh, so you're gonna have to change schools.
Yeah.
You excited about that?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Do you have any awards, trophies, certificates that you would like to
Yes, I
show
do.
us?
Let me move this quick. I have a box of horse ribbons.
Oh, you ride horses? Cool.
I rode horses. I don't anymore.
Okay. What kind
Here's
of,
a
did you do like
box.
jumping
Hang on.
or obstacle courses? What did you do?
I just like showed them.
Rode 'em? Okay.
Like, here's my 4th place. I have 3rd place. I'm pretty sure I won like 2nd place in one. I can't find it though. Is that my 1st place? I can't remember.
Be honest, Riley. Even though you're done
Here's
with
this
the even though you're done with the competitions, you still get out your little jacket and boots and hat and wear them sometimes, don't you?
No, they're too small now. But this is my therapy championships qualifying.
Cool.
I can find the 2nd place. I don't know where it is. Which one's this one? I was in the Nationals.
That's cool. Was that the
National Horse.
Pennsylvania Farm Show?
Yeah, I think so. It was in the National Horse Show. Where is it?
So
All the other ones are 3rd and 4th. Huh. I don't know.
Where did the steps go?
Oh, they don't really go anywhere.
They're just
They
for
were
decoration?
the Harry Potter theme.
Okay, gotcha. I saw a thing on Facebook yesterday. It was the front of a house. There was a front door and a window. And instead of the steps going to the door, they went to the window. And the person said you only had one job and you couldn't get it right. So
That's pretty fun.
how's your arm feeling?
It's okay. It's broken. Hang on. Right here.
So how long will you have to wear this sling?
Probably 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. Cool. Anything else you want to show us in there?
Yeah, I do a lot of clay.
Oh, cool.
So I made this cake a couple days ago. Hang on, let me get a better background. I made this cake.
Nice.
It has like some marbled flour with some marble on top, and then it's just sparkly on the sides.
Yes, it's very sparkly. I'm a big fan of cake. If that was a real cake, I would definitely try it.
Yeah, and then I made this cupcake whose name is Sherry.
Cool. So are they
So
like?
I do like some landscapes and stuff.
Are they still soft, or do you like bake them to harden them?
They are air dry.
Oh, they air dry on their own.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you are quite the artist. You've got sculptures and paintings and all kinds of stuff going on. All right. Well, hey, Riley, it's been great getting to know you. Thanks for hosting us for Welcome to My Lair.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great
It
day.
was fun. You too.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, so that was Riley, and you may have seen her on, like I said, our Zoom sessions when we meet on Wednesdays, and she's been on with us the past couple weeks, so hopefully that was cool. You got a chance to know Riley. And our last segment of the night is a youth leader segment, and if you are a driver or you're about to become a driver, or if you're interested in driving, that is our topic for tonight. So stay tuned for just a second, and we will show you that clip. Hope you guys enjoy. Here you go.
All right. Good evening, teens. We've got a fun discussion for you guys tonight. I know that many of you are new drivers or soon-to-be drivers, and so we figured that we would talk about some of our driving experiences, and we'll test these youth leaders out with their driving knowledge. If they had to retake that test, we'll see how they would do. So our first question is, from top to bottom, the following is the proper order for a traffic light. So what color sequence from top, starting with the top light to the bottom light, is the correct sequence? When I count to 3, you will hold up the number of fingers for your answer. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Is everybody ready? From top to bottom, the following is the proper order of the traffic light colors. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, everybody says 1, and they are correct.
Hey!
Red on top, yellow in the middle, green on the bottom. All right, moving right along. If, and this is big if, unless you're Matt maybe, if you are stopped by a police officer, you should, number 1, unbuckle your seatbelt and lower your window. 2, get your paperwork ready before the officer reaches your car. 3, stay in your vehicle with hands on the steering wheel and wait for the officer to approach you. Or 4, get out of your car and walk towards the patrol car. 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you are stopped by a police officer, and we'll talk more about this in a few minutes after we're done with the questions. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, everybody says 3. That is correct. Man, you guys are good. I would love to get stopped with Matt and Josh in the car with me and see if we could do something to get tased. Without getting arrested. Just tased, not arrested.
We'll never get pulled over if Matt is driving. That's all I can say.
Uh-oh. I was waiting for a Matt joke from you, Josh. All right. We'll talk more about that later. All right. The maximum speed in Pennsylvania is blank miles per hour. 55, 65, 70, or 75. And the teens hopefully are playing along as well. See if they can get these right. The maximum speed is 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, we've got some discrepancies here. It is number 3. Laura there's not many places, Laura, but there are a few sections of the Pennsylvania Turnpike that go up to 70 miles per hour.
I was afraid of
A couple years ago, we went out west in like Montana. There's some awesome like 70, I think it's 75 or 80 speed limit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there are some roads that don't have a speed limit out there.
Oh, I thought you just meant that people just did whatever speed they wanted to anyway.
No, I think there seriously are roads that don't have a speed limit posted.
That may be true. The top major crash type for 16-year-old drivers in Pennsylvania is single vehicle run off the road, 2, failing to stop at a stop sign, 3, driving in reverse on a side street, or 4, merging onto the interstate. The top major crash type for 16-year-old drivers is 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, we got lots of discrepancy on this one. Let's see. If you said number 1, you are correct.
Woo!
Matt and Laura.
Woo!
Yes, single vehicle run off the road. All right. So, Matt, how many points you got?
4.
Amy?
3.
Laura?
3.
Josh?
3.
Oh, Matt.
Uh,
Matt's got the early lead.
that's no surprise.
If your turn signals fail, you should use blank to indicate you are turning. Your horn, your headlights, hand signals, or your emergency flashers. If your turn signals fail, which of those should you use? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. How many fingers do you have up, Josh?
4.
Oh, it is actually hand signals, believe it or
Oh
not.
my goodness. Like a bike rider?
Yes, it is. It is actually hand signals is the correct answer.
I'd rather get a ticket.
This is one of my favorites. If another driver cuts you off in traffic, you should 1, pull next to the driver and yell at them. 2, ignore the other driver. 3, flash your high beams at them. 4, get back at them by cutting them off. While you're thinking about that, Josh, how many of those 4 have you actually done?
Oh. All 4 actually.
Me as well. Matt?
I think 2 maybe.
I
don't know.
I knew Josh and I would be the only ones who have done all 4 of those. The ladies are too nice and Matt's too conscientious. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. This one's pretty simple. Yeah, if you guys didn't get that one, it is ignore the other driver. Correct. The speed limit is how many miles per hour when the yellow lights are flashing on the school zone sign? In a school zone, 25, 15, 20, or 35 miles per hour in a school zone. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Oh, we got some discrepancy. Amy thinks it's 20. The rest of them think it is 15. It is 15. All right, I think we might have one more question left. How many points you got, Josh?
5.
Laura?
6.
Amy?
5.
Matt?
7.
Oh, Matt, no pressure, but if you get this one right, I believe you'll be the winner. There might be 2 more. I can't remember. When passing a bicyclist, you should honk your horn to alert them, move as far left as possible, remain in the center of the lane, or put on your 4-way flashers. When passing a bicyclist, which one of those should you do? Reveal in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we got lots of 2s, and we've got a 3. It is 2. Move as far left in the lane as possible. So that means Matt is the winner. Give it up for Matt.
Yay.
All right, so some questions for you guys. Would you rather be the driver or would you rather ride? Ride or drive? Josh?
I'd rather drive.
I would definitely always rather drive. Laura?
Drive.
Amy?
Probably drive.
Matt?
Drive.
Ooh, everybody wants to drive. Nobody wants to be the passenger. Any of you fail your first time on the driving portion of the test?
No.
Nope.
Wow. I'm the only one. Yeah, I don't even remember why I failed. All I remember is that I got in the car the first time, and it was this older dude, and he was pretty big. He was pretty big, just all around big dude, scary dude. And I just remember looking over, and he had his hand on the dashboard or on his leg or something. And I looked over, and he just had nubs for fingers on most of his hands. And I was just freaked out by it. And not making excuses, not saying that's why I failed the test, but okay, well there you go. These other 4 passed the first time. They're pretty amazing. What's your limit over the speed limit? How many miles per hour over the speed limit will you go? Matt?
So disclaimer, I try to go, but I usually upwards of 5 over I feel relatively comfortable with, depending on where I'm at.
Okay.
Call bull crap on that.
Yeah, Matt. Josh has ridden with you, and I've heard stories that you do not go over the speed limit. So
that's good.
I can appreciate that. Amy, how many miles an hour over the speed limit are you willing to go?
Probably 5.
Laura?
I would say 5, although sometimes I do 10.
Josh?
How many am I willing to do, or how many have I done?
On an average trip.
Now in my older, more tame days, between 5 and 7, and I will go as high as 10 depending on the situation.
Okay, I'm not going to answer that question. You guys are all you guys all drive very good job, guys. Well done. Parallel parking. If you had to go in a city right now and parallel park, how many tries would it take you to get the car in the spot? Laura?
I had parallel parked not too long ago, and it only took me 1 try. It wasn't beautiful, but it worked.
Okay. Matt?
I think 1 or 2.
Okay. Amy?
Maybe 3.
Josh?
On a good day, depending on how big the spot is, I could do it in 1, but honestly, it'd probably be 2.
Yeah, I can 1 or 2 for me. Sometimes 2, but sometimes 1. All right, let's see. Maybe 1 or 2 more questions. How many tickets have you had? Matt, you ever had a ticket?
No, but I've been pulled over before.
Oh, did you cry and get out of it?
No, but I was super apologetic, and I had it, I kept apologizing to the police officer, and I just really wanted him to eventually say all right, fine, buddy, it's okay, fine. But he wouldn't do it, so I kept apologizing, and that's just a thing with me. If I apologize, I want somebody to acknowledge it. So he wouldn't, so I kept hey, I'm sorry, and then he'd say something, I'm yeah, I'm sorry, and so yeah, but I didn't get a ticket, I don't think.
Gosh, how many?
3.
Good number. Me as well. So I've been driving 27 years, and I've got 1 speeding ticket, 1 rolling through a red stop sign ticket, and 1 parked in a no parking zone ticket.
Huh.
Amy?
0.
You got
Actually,
out of
wait.
Wow,
She's been pulled over, but she's gotten out of it.
You know what? I did get a parking ticket in college. It was the last week before I graduated, which was the worst. But it was so sorry. I didn't think about that because I think of
college parking tickets don't count.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I counted it just to be honest, but I don't really count that as a legitimate ticket.
Okay.
Laura,
if it's college parking tickets, I probably had 4. I might have had 4.
Laura, any speeding tickets?
Yeah, I've had at least 2, maybe 3.
We'll let you drive.
Oh yeah, I remember that. All right, well, teams, hopefully you maybe learn from some of our mistakes. Take it easy, take it slow, keep those hands at 10 and 2, and hopefully you guys are safe on the roads. Hopefully if you've got a birthday coming up, or if you just had a birthday, hopefully those driver license centers will open up soon so you can get in there and take your permit test. And everybody be safe out there while you're driving. All right. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys had fun. Remember, the Good Samaritan, we are encouraging you guys to help people in need when you see them, especially during COVID. Don't forget about our Wednesday Bible study
If that's something you would like to join up, we'd love to have you join us on Wednesdays. It's a good time. And we will be starting a new Bible study this week. I haven't picked one yet, but I will send the new link for the video on Monday or Tuesday morning. And we would love to see you guys join us for Bible study. Hope you guys have a great night. See ya. Bye.